Take the place for first pitch. Today we have the honor to host the new president, Céline Allègre. Mesdames et messieurs, faites un hommage à la présidente du MUC, Céline Allègre, pour le first speech.
Good afternoon. Welcome to sunny Montpellier, France, for today's ball game between Netherlands and the home team, France. This is game 2 of the European Women's Baseball Championship. This morning, Great Britain took home game 1 over Czech Republic by the final score of 27-11.
Make some noise for Mrs. Allègre. Let's go!
And as you can hear, the president of the MOOC, Montpellier University, just threw out the first pitch. It's quite a festive atmosphere here today. For those of you who are just tuning in, France is looking to repeat as European Women's Champions after taking home the first European Championship 3 years ago in Rouen. Their first battle will be this afternoon against Netherlands, who have a strong team, who are looking to get some revenge against the French. This is a rematch of the final from 3 years ago. Alors, bienvenue ici à Montpellier. Bienvenue. Aujourd'hui, nous avons un match de baseball féminin contre France contre Pays-Bas. La France essaye de gagner son deuxième championnat d'Europe féminin. Les entraîneurs des deux clubs sont au marbre en train d'échanger les line-up et réviser les règles du terrain avec les arbitres. Et dans peu de temps, on va commencer le match. So for today's ball game, the visiting club Netherlands will come to bat first. The leadoff batter is Sasha Egas, playing shortstop. Batting second is Esther Malpard, playing right field. Batting third is Sherry Stravers, playing left field. Batting fourth is Anouk Vergunst, playing first base. Batting fifth, Wendy Blott in center field. Batting sixth, Nikki Gromans, playing second base. Batting seventh, Zoe Lagweg, the designated hitter. Batting eighth, Natalie Schindler, catching. And rounding out the lineup, batting ninth, Magali de Rooij, playing third base. The starting pitcher for the Netherlands is Merle Langvoort. And for the home ball club France, on the mound is Camille Fouché. She'll be working with Chiara Henrion-Torrent, who's doing the catching. At first base is Léonie Pau. Second base, Yasmine Derbal. Shortstop, Lena Selam. Third base, Marjorie Brunel. In left field is Angélique André. In center field, Emma Patry. And in right field, Juliane Laporte. So we're just about ready to get underway. France's starting pitcher, Camille Fouché, is throwing her final warm-up pitches. Sunny skies here in Montpellier, not a cloud in sight, and temperatures around 30 degrees Celsius, or if you think in Fahrenheit, just under 90 degrees. Again, for those of you just joining us, this morning's ball game was won by Great Britain, somewhat of a surprise against Czech Republic, by the final score of 27-12.
Make some noise, faites du bruit, mesdames et messieurs. On encourage les équipes.
Ce tournoi existe depuis 3 ans. C'est seulement la deuxième fois que la WBSC Europe organise les championnats d'Europe féminins. La première édition a été jouée à Rouen en 2019 et a été remportée par la France. Donc la France est favorite, managée par Lassène Benhamida. Lassène qui était joueur ici à Montpellier et en équipe de France pendant longtemps. Et la lanceuse française Camille Fouché vient de terminer ses lancers d'échauffement. La première frappeuse pour les Pays-Bas. Et l'arrêt-court, Sasha Egas. So Sasha Egas steps in the batter's box wearing number 12. Looking to set the tone for the Netherlands Ball Club, who are wearing their away black uniforms with gray pants. France is in the white tops with blue pants. And Egas lays down a bunt on the first pitch, fielded by the pitcher. Throw to first is wide of first base and rolls into the right field. Foul territory. Egas will end up at second base on what should be scored an E1. So a good start to the ball game for the Netherlands, with their leadoff batter reaching second base on a bunt and a throw just a bit wild by the pitcher. So runner on second, nobody out for Netherlands. Stepping to the box is Esther Malpard, the right fielder, wearing number 13. And the pitch is just a bit high for ball one. Malpard takes the signs, looks at her third base coach with 1 foot out of the box and steps back in the box, getting ready to hit. And the second pitch is in there for strike one. The count is 1-1. Un bon lancer de la lanceuse Camille Fouché. Donc le compte est à 1 balle, 1 strike. Coureur en deuxième base sans retrait. Un bon début de match pour les Pays-Bas, qui ont rapidement mis la pression sur l'équipe de France avec un bunt. La balle a été lancée un peu up the line, comme on dit. And a pickoff attempt to second base, and the throw is high and goes into center field. Backed up well by the center fielder, who was right there. No advance by the Dutch runner, who is still at second base with nobody out. So a little first inning jitters by France. Already 2 errant throws. And the 1-1 pitch is swung on and fouled back. So the count runs to 1 ball and 2 strikes on the Dutch hitter. So Kingdom of the Netherlands, known for their baseball and softball programs. They just won this European softball championship a few days ago and are reigning European baseball champs as well. So interesting to see a team like them. And that pitch is just inside, so the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the Dutch hitter is claiming that it hit her on the elbow, but it didn't look like it got her. Le compte est maintenant de 2 balles et 2 strikes. Et le prochain lancé is swung on and missed, strike 3. So that's 1 out, the first out for France. And that's a big out right there. Good pitch located on the outside corner and swung on and missed for the first out of the inning. La prochaine frappeuse pour les Pays-Bas, Cherise Travers. Champ gauche, left-handed batter. Step off by the French pitcher, keeping the runner close at second base. So runner on second, 1 out for Netherlands. And the first pitch is taken for a ball just a bit outside. The Dutch number 3 hitter steps out and takes her signs from the third base coach. Stravers is a left-handed batter. And the 1-0 pitch is in there for strike 1, and the count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Un bon lancer de la lanceuse française. Fouché dit non 2 fois au catcher. Et le lancer est juste un peu haut pour la deuxième balle. 2 balles, 1 strike, 1 retrait, courant en deuxième base pour les Pays-Bas. And Camille looks in, shakes off. And that pitch is fouled back for strike 2. The count evens out at 2 balls and 2 strikes. It looks like the French are using a system of signs. Maybe 3 signs, 4 signs, follow the 2, first sign, last sign. With the runner at second base, the pitcher's shaking off quite a bit before delivering each pitch. So that's nice to see them mixing up the signs. And that pitch is taken it just outside. Looked like a changeup or an off-speed pitch. So the count runs full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. On deck is Anouk Vergunst, the Dutch cleanup hitter who's playing first base today. And that pitch is grounded up the middle and fielded by the French shortstop, throwing on to first. And that ball is low and gets by the first baseman, and the Dutch will score the first run of the game, with Stravers ending up at second base, sliding in safe. So a good start to the game for the Netherlands, putting some pressure on the French defense early on, putting the ball into play.
Next batter, Anouk Vergunst.
Prochaine frappeuse pour les Pays-Bas, Anouk Vergunst, première base. Un bon début de match pour les Pays-Bas. Et il y aura un but sur balle intentionnel, intentional walk to the Dutch cleanup hitter. First base was not occupied, so that's a smart move by the French. So runner on first and second, still 1 out. 2 early errors for the French defense so far. They always say that the first inning is the hardest as a pitcher, and, well, that's proving to be true today. And the first pitch is in there for a strike to number 27, Wendy Blatt. Blatt will be manning center field today for Holland. Blatt wiggles the bat and stands in there ready to hit the 0-1 pitch. Is fouled back off to the right and into the stands. Watch out over there. Attention. 0 balle de strike. La lanceuse française, Fouché, lance beaucoup de strikes. Jusqu'à là, 14 lancés, 9 dans la zone. Strike 3. Un retrait important pour Camille sur le strikeout. Elle a bien lancé la droite à l'intérieur là. So 2 down, 2 outs after the strikeout. And Fouché is doing just what you would want her to do, pounding the zone early on, throwing strikes. She has 2 strikeouts and 2/3 of her pitches have been strikes so far. Step off there, checking the runner at second base. She doesn't want the runner at second base to get too big of a lead because with 2 outs, a hit into the outfield will surely score her. And that pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1. Nikki Gromans now on slak, as they say in Dutch, at the bat. Gromans is playing second base today, wearing number 29. So the 0-1 pitch is just low. 1 ball, 1 strike to the Dutch number 6 hitter. So Camille has not been helped out too much by her defense. She's already up to 17 pitches. As a pitcher, you typically want to stay under 20. Again, this is a 7-inning ball game, so these early innings and early runs are very important. And that pitch is swung on and missed. 4 strike 2, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. A hot day here today in Montpellier with a slight breeze blowing from right to left. And that pitch is down in the dirt and gets by the catcher. And the runners will advance to second and third with 2 outs. So again, some first inning jitters. This is a team that hasn't played much together. None of these teams really have played many games together. So this first inning in a tournament like this could be quite nerve-wracking for some of these players. And that pitch is swung on and missed. So Fouché strikes out the side on 19 pitches. However, the Dutch managed to put a run up on the board thanks to 2 French errors. After a half inning, 1 run, no hits, 2 errors, 2 left on base. We'll be back.
On the mound, Verena Langevol.
All right, welcome back to Montpellier for the bottom of the first inning. France will take their hacks. We talked a little bit about Lassane Benhamida, who was a great second baseman for the Barracudas for many years and with the French national team. Well, he's got some help in his coaching staff. Coaching third base is Jeffrey Moschetti. who was also a player here with the Barracudas, a utility player, gritty ball player, and now coaches youth baseball in his hometown. And Rainer Hunter. Rainer is one of, if not the best, French softball players who just recently retired from playing but still helps out with the national softball team and now the women's baseball team as well. So quite the coaching staff for France, who are trying to repeat as European champions after winning it in 2019 in Rouen. I believe that team was coached by Keno Perez, who's now the French national team manager. Men's baseball, that is. So leading off for France is the shortstop Lena Salam. Et le premier lancé est bas extérieur pour une balle. Une balle, 0 strike. La lanceuse pour les Pays-Bas, Merla Langvoort. Right-handed pitcher. Goes from the windup and delivers a strike to even the count at 1-1. So for Langvoort, the key here will be pounding the strike zone. Especially after scoring a first inning run, you want to give your team a quick bounce back inning. Avoid the walks if possible. Well, easier said than done, right? And that pitch is fouled back for strike 2. A good swing there from the French leadoff hitter Salam. France is wearing the blue pants, white tops, and blue helmet, navy blue helmet. And the 1-2 pitch is fouled back. Looks like an off-speed pitch, maybe a curveball. So good job by Salam fighting it off and staying alive. So the fans are making a little bit of noise here at Greg Hamilton Ballpark as that pitch is taken up and in for ball 2, 2-2. I would say maybe a few hundred fans on attendance here today, which is pretty good for a French baseball game, regardless of male or female. And that pitch is inside for ball 3, so the count runs full. A good leadoff at bat from Lena Salam. Angélique André stands on deck in the 2-hole for France. Today's game is being umpired by 2 French umpires, which is pretty standard even for Division 1 games here in France. And that pitch is high for ball 4. So leadoff walk for France. Good at bat from Lena. La prochaine frappeuse, Angélique André.
Angélique André, prochaine batteuse, faites du bruit.
Angélique joue champ gauche aujourd'hui et porte le numéro 12. Bon début de match pour la France. Courant 1, 0 retrait. And the pitcher in the set delivers the pitch, which is grounded weakly to third base and fielded. Throw on to first is just in time and picked out of the dirt by the Dutch first baseman, Vergunst. Well, it looked like the batter was going to be safe there for a second, and the third baseman got rid of the ball pretty quickly and picked out of the dirt by the Dutch first baseman. So Lena Salam moves up to second base, runner in second, 1 out for the 3-hitter Emma Patry, France's center fielder. And that pitch is grounded sharply to short, fielded by the Dutch shortstop. Throw on to first is fielded as well in time for the second out of the inning. So Patry grounds to shortstop, throw on to first. Lena Salam moves up to third base with 2 outs. So a good piece of hitting there by Patry. Just some bad luck that she hit it right at the shortstop. France's cleanup hitter Marjorie Brunel steps to the batter's box. Brunel will be playing third base today, sporting the one batting glove look, kind of old school. And the first pitch is in there for strike one, right at the top of the zone. Good pitch from the Dutch pitcher Langvoort. Donc, coureur en 3, 2 retraits pour la France. Et le frappeur 4, Marjorie Brunel à la frappe. Ce serait bien pour la France de pouvoir égaliser. Et le deuxième lancé est swingé et foul ball dans les tribunes. Et ça commence à faire du bruit ici à Verassi. Il y a pas mal de monde, peut-être 100, 200 personnes. Ce qui est déjà pas mal, même pour un match de la D1 française. And the umpire signals play ball. The next pitch is grounded to shortstop again. Fielded by the Dutch shortstop. One hop to first and scooped out by Vergunst for the third out of the inning. So a good job by the Dutch infield there to get out of it. Especially the first baseman Anouk Vergunst, saving what could have been multiple errors. And so far, that's the difference. The Dutch have made the plays, and France gave the Dutch a few freebies in the top of the first. After one inning, Netherlands 1, France 0. We'll be back.
De retour sur le monticule, Camille Fouché.
On est de retour ici à Montpellier pour le début de la deuxième manche. Le score est 1-0 en faveur des Pays-Bas. Non, on disait que la différence jusqu'à là, c'était la défense de l'infield. La France a donné deux bases gratuites, on va dire, tandis que les Pays-Bas ont fait tous les jeux. Jeffrey.
Next batter, Zoe Blackman.
All right, the Dutch number 7 hitter Zoe Lagweg steps in, today's designated hitter for Holland. And she swings at the first pitch and flies it to left field. And it is over the head of the left fielder. And that ball's going to roll for a while. Lagweg trots into second base easily for a leadoff double. Well, we'll see how it will be scored. It should be scored a double. It looked like the French left fielder came in on it a few steps before having to retreat back. And by that time, it was too late. And here in Montpellier, if the ball gets over an outfielder's head, it will roll for a while. It will roll for a while. So much so that many triples and even inside the park home runs take place here in Montpellier. As you surely can see, there is no grass here. There's only turf on the infield portion of the infield. And that pitch is swung on and fouled into the catcher's glove for strike one. The throw on to third is not in time. So a stolen base by Netherlands. Runner on third, nobody out. Tough pitch to throw on for the catcher as that pitch was swung on. Foul tipped into the glove, which counts as a strike. And therefore the runner was able to continue on to third. So a good start here for the Netherlands in the top of the second inning. The 0-1 pitch is in there. Nope. Just a bit high. Looks good. The catcher for France asking Blue, where was that? That looked like a strike from back here too. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner on third. Dutch number 8 hitter Natalie Schindler swings through the next pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Dutch catcher Schindler. And that pitch is lined to the shortstop, picked by the shortstop who throws home and out at home plate. Great play by the French shortstop, Lena Salam. That pitch was hit hard to the shortstop, backhanded, thrown onto home plate, and tagged out by the catcher, Chiara Orion-Doron. So a bit of aggressive base running by the Dutch there, sending the runner with nobody out and the infield in. Backfires, and a good play by the French defense to keep the ball game at 1-0. So runner at first, 1 out now. And Camille Fouché in the set delivers the pitch, which is a strike taken on the outside corner for strike 1 to the Dutch number 9 hitter Magali De Roy. De Roy playing third base today. Un retrait courant en une, toujours 1-0 pour les Pays-Bas. Et le prochain lancer est bas pour la première balle de la compte. Du compte, pardon. 1 balle, 1 strike, 1 retrait. Il y a une atmosphère assez festive ici à Montpellier. C'est l'été, c'est strike 2. Les gens sont contents d'être ici au stade. Il y a beaucoup de joueurs de l'équipe 1 qui sont là. Il y a beaucoup de parents des 4 pays qui sont là. Ça parle un peu néerlandais, beaucoup d'anglais, un peu tchèque et surtout français. And the next pitch is grounded in the hole past the second baseman into right field. Moving up to second base is Schindler. So a single to right field for the 9-hitter De Roy. Gives the Dutch runners at first and second with 1 out. So the Dutch have come out swinging today, playing aggressive baseball. Maybe too aggressive with the runner at third and nobody out, sending the runner to home. And Camille Fouché has done a good job throwing strikes. She has 3 strikeouts in just an inning and a third. However, has not been helped out by her defense. And just as I say that, she hits the Dutch leadoff hitter, loading the bases with 1 out. So bases loaded, 1 out for the Netherlands with the 2-hitter Esther Malpard stepping up to the bat.
Esther Malpard.
So a bit of early pressure put on the French defense by Holland. We'll see if they can get out of it. The heart of the Dutch order is coming up with the bases loaded. No action in the bullpen. That pitch is just a bit outside. These 7-inning games, it's important to score first. And the 1-0 pitch is in there for strike one, evening the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Looked like the same pitch as the first one. One was a ball, one was a strike. That's how it works here in France sometimes. So the runners take their leads. Big leads by the Dutch runners, especially at second and first base. That 1-1 pitch is inside for ball 2. A base hit to the outfield would score at least 1, most likely 2, and maybe even 3 should it hit a gap and roll. Very big lead by the runner at first base. And that pitch is swung on and hit to shortstop. Shortstop throws to second for 1 out, on to first. And dropped by the first baseman. The Dutch will score 1 and have runners at the corners with 1 out. 2 outs, sorry. Alors, roulant sur l'arrêt court. Scoré Fielder's Choice 6-4 et coureur en 1 et 3 avec 2 retraits. 2-0 pour les Pays-Bas. Frappeur 3 du line-up hollandais, Sherry Stravers à la frappe. It will be interesting to see what happens on the steal here, to see if the French defense opts to throw the ball through to second base or concede the stolen base. Swung on and missed for strike 1. You would imagine with a 1-0 count, with a 0-1 count, that the Dutch would put the runners in motion here to force a throw to second base and hope to score that third run. And there goes the runner. Throw through to second base, not in time. Cut off by the shortstop, who throws back to third, and safe. Safe at third. So the Dutch have continued to put the pressure on the French defense, already with a bunt and several stolen bases. And the 3-hitter looks to the third base coach for the signs. You wouldn't imagine that they would bunt or that there would be any more action here with runners at second and third and 2 outs and the number 3-hitter at the dish. That pitch is taken high for ball 2. 2 balles, 1 strike, 2 retraits coureurs en 2 et 3 pour les Pays-Bas. Le banc français encourage la lanceuse Camille, qui a déjà fait 34 lancers. On entend également les encouragements venant du public qui encourage la lanceuse Camille Fouché. Camille, elle lance beaucoup de strikes. Mais l'attaque néerlandaise est assez forte quand même. Ball 4. Alors, les bases sont remplies de nouveau pour le frappeur 4 du line-up hollandais. Anouk Vergunst was intentionally walked her first at bat. There is no room to put her this time. We'll see. Runner at second takes a big lead. Base hit would surely score 2 runs. And that ball is lined up the middle. And 1 run will score. The center fielder Patry has it and throws home. And 2 runs will score. So a good start to the game for the Kingdom of the Netherlands. Already scoring 4 runs. And we're not even through the second inning. So that brings up to the plate number 27, Wendy Blatt, the center fielder for Holland. And she swings at the first pitch, grounding it sharply to the pitcher, who throws on to first to get out of the jam. So after 2, it's 4-0 Netherlands. We'll be back. Eso es calor y eso es
Frío.
frío.
¿También tienes uno?
Sí.
Patrick. Calor o frío, ¿no?
¿Quieres que danzamos?
On the mound for Netherlands, Verena Langlo.
Guardo esto y ya vengo.
In the middle of the second inning, the score is 4 for Netherlands, 0 for France. À la balle, pour la France, Jasmine Neumann.
And we're back for the bottom half of the second inning here in sunny Montpellier, France, with the score of Netherlands 4 and France 0 coming up for their second at bat. And the first pitch is high, ducked and avoided by the French hitter, sporting number 3. Yasmin is playing second base today. And that pitch is swung on and driven, but foul deep and out of play off to the left field side over the batting cage here in Montpellier. So we are playing on a very big field, which is home to the Barracudas de Montpellier team. And that pitch is swung on and flied and called by the third baseman, who camps under it and makes the catch with 2 hands for the first out of the inning. So the French Division 1 is a 10-team league with half the teams in the northern half of the country and the other half in the southern half of the country. So we're playing on one of the bigger, if not the biggest fields in the country. Center field is 420 feet away, right field is 360 feet, and left field as well down the lines. So needless to say, we will not be seeing any home runs this week here in Montpellier. We will see a lot of triples and maybe some inside the park home runs. And that pitch is taken for ball 1 by Chiara Andrian-Torrent. So Chiara is from Grenoble originally. She also played baseball in Rouen for a little bit, as did the center fielder for France, Emma Patry. And I was lucky enough to be their under-15 coach a few years ago. And so it's cool to see them again here playing with the national team and still playing baseball. And that pitch is swung on and fouled. I guess that makes sense. Off to the left side. Et le dugout français crie Chiara, Chiara, pour encourager Chiara. Et elle swing et frappe un fly qui va tomber au champ centre pour un simple Donc le premier base hit pour la France. Premier base hit, un simple de Chiara. Courant en une. Un retrait.
Prochaine batteuse, numéro 21, Léonie Paul.
Et donc Jeffrey Moschetti donne les signaux. Léonie Pau à la frappe. Chiara takes her lead off first. And the Dutch pitcher delivers a pitch which is fouled off and out of play back behind the first base dugout into the bullpen. So both teams' bullpens are located off to the right side, past the first base dugout, between the playing field and the stands here in Montpellier. It's a pretty cool setup here. There are actually 3 bullpen mounds, which I think is the first in France. Usually teams have 1 or 2 bullpen mounds. Here we have 3. And the next pitch is swung on and driven deep to right field, but camped out and caught by the Dutch right fielder, who throws back behind the first base runner. Not in time. So 2 down. Runner still at first base for France. And that brings to the dish France's designated hitter, Ambre Brouard. Brouard also from Rouen. And that pitch is taken for strike 1. Good decision by Brouard to let that one go. As a hitter, you don't want to swing at the first pitch 3 consecutive times in the inning. And especially with 2 outs, you don't want to give the pitcher a quick inning. So a good decision to take that pitch by Brouard. Pitcher checks over to first, not in time. The tag is applied by the Dutch first baseman. So good job by the Dutch pitcher, keeping the French base runner close with 2 outs in what is a steal situation. Longvoort so far has thrown 22 pitches, 16 for strikes, and that pitch is swung on and fouled off the foot of Brouard. So the count runs to 0-2. And that pitch is taken low. Good eye by Brouard, not swinging at that low pitch with 2 strikes. The count runs to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Alors on voit coach Rainer Hunter en première base qui donne des instructions à Chiara. Et elle va avancer en 2. Elle va avancer en 2. C'est un wild pitch. Donc courant en 2 en position de marquer pour la France. La première fois de la journée qu'ils ont un coureur coureuse en deuxième base. First time today for France to have a runner in scoring position. But the Dutch are only 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning unscathed. Longvoort takes a sign, throws the pitch, which is grounded onto third base. Fielded cleanly and thrown all the way across the diamond by the Dutch third baseman for the 3rd out. And so France leaves 1 runner on base after 2 complete. France 0, Netherlands 4. We'll be back. avez mis ça? Moi, j'ai mis
C'était en plus c'est deux sur la première, c'est deux sur la deuxième.
Non, non, non.
Ça, oui, d'accord.
C'était 2 sur une phrase. Et il y avait une
D'accord,
erreur.
ça y est, j'ai compris. Non, parce que j'ai dit, on était non, 4-0, sur le site, c'est 6-0.
Ouais.
De retour sur le monticule, Camille Fouché. For Netherlands, Nikki Bloemenmans. Make some noise for Marquis.
And we're back here in Montpellier at Greg Hamilton Ballpark for the top of the third inning. Nicky Groenmans, the Dutch second baseman, will lead things off for the Orange. Is Orange. And she will take a fastball, well located fastball on the outside corner for strike one. On est de retour ici à Montpellier pour le début de troisième manche, 4-0 pour les Pays-Bas. And that pitch is taken down for a ball. Camille Fouché is still on the bump for France after 2 innings. She's up to 44 pitches on the game. And the count runs to 2 balls and 1 strike to the Dutch number 29. So in the first edition of this European Championships, it was a 3-team race. This go around, the tournament has added Great Britain. So Great Britain, France, Netherlands, and Czech Republic. As that pitch is slide out to the shortstop for 1 out.
For Netherlands, next at bat,
If you missed the first game today, Great Britain handled Czech Republic easily, scoring 27 runs. Yeah, you got that right, 27 runs. And these are 7-inning ball games. That game lasted just under 4 hours. This game is going much quicker. We're already in the top of the third inning after 50 minutes of play. And that pitch is grounded onto second base, fielded cleanly by the French second baseman. Thrown onto first for the second out of the inning. So 2 quick outs here in the top of the third for Fouché and the French defense.
at bat, number 44.
You could almost call this a pitcher's duel if it weren't for the sloppy play and first inning jitters by the French. So Camille looks to get her first 1-2-3 inning of the ball game, which would be huge. And that pitch is in there for strike one on the outside corner to the Dutch number 44. Dutch are sporting the black tops with gray pants and black helmet. And that pitch is just a bit outside The crowd wanted that one, and it could have gone either way. That was right on the black, as they say. A good pitcher's pitch, and a good take by the hitter as well. So the 1-1 pitch is just inside. Another good pitch by Fouché. Some good plate discipline by the Dutch hitters. They are making Camille work. Still no action in the French bullpen. Fouché is up to 51 pitches now. And that pitch is taken high end outside to run the count to 3-1. So for those of you thinking of coming to the games, no admission. It's totally free. There are numerous food trucks and concession stands on hand. That pitch is in there to run the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And France plays the late game every day at 5 p.m. The first games were scheduled to start at 12 noon. However, due to the heat wave, the first games will be starting at 11 a.m. And that pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3, and that will conclude the top half of the first inning. So we will be back.
Attends, c'est pas éteint là? Il y a plus de jus là, non? Tu peux leur dire, c'est dans le camion là.
Non.
Vous avez du jus ou pas?
Non. Ah non, non, non.
Attends. Je pense pas. Hein. On peut mettre le score, ouais. Moi, juste regarder le score. Bon.
privilégié pour l'électricité, ce que je trouve tout à fait normal. Je vais refaire les branchements du coup pour que vous puissiez avoir du jus. Ok.
Merci.
Bah, je ne promets pas que ça marche. Hein, parce que,
Est-ce qu'il y a des commentaires?
Parce qu'en fait, peut-être que c'est la caméra qui met le commentaire, je sais pas, mais
All right. C'était celui-là. Hein.
ouais, c'est-
All right, we're back. Sorry for the interruption. We're having some electrical problems. So this is a test to see if the sound is still working. All right, we're back. Sorry for interruption. All right, well, we're gonna have to do this like the old-fashioned days on the radio, at least for the time being, until the cameras get working again. Sorry, there was an electrical problem here in Montpellier. So France has scored. They just drove in one run. Emma Patry steps to the batter's box. And we're really going to have to go get the play-by-play going without the images. So I'm going to do my best here. Hang with me. We got one out, runner at second base in scoring position with Patry up to blocks. And that's a balk. The home plate umpire called it right away. The pitcher flinched, and so France's base runner will move up 90 feet to third base. A ground ball here would score a run, as would a sacrifice fly for Patry. And the infield is playing back with a 4-1 lead here in the third inning. The crowd is making some noise. The momentum has seemed to shift towards France's favor, and that pitch is low and outside. 4-1. And the 1-0 pitch is taken on the outside corner for a strike. So the count evens up at 1-1 strike to Emma Patry. Runner at third creeps ever closer to the plate. That pitch is high. 4-2. So 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner at third. After Patry is the cleanup hitter Marjorie Brunel, who's licking her lips, waiting to bat. And that pitch is lined up the middle for a base hit for Emma. And France's second run of the day will come across the plate. So the momentum has swung. Patry gives a high five to her first base coach, Raina Hunter. And France is creeping back into this game as the Allez les Bleus chant breaks out here in Montpellier. Alors, 4-2 pour les Pays-Bas. Je m'excuse, on n'a pas d'image pour l'instant, on n'a que le son. On va faire comme dans les années 50 à la radio. Courant en une, Patry qui vient de frapper un base hit. 4-2 toujours pour les Pays-Bas. Et le lancer est un strike. Patry essaye de voler la 2 et elle est safe en deuxième base. Safe. Emma Patry avance 90 pieds et est en position de marquer. Le coach de troisième base, Jeffrey Moscadi, continue à donner les signaux. Frappeur 4 à la frappe, Marjorie Brunel pour la France. Et le lancer est haut. Une balle, un strike. Le dugout de 3 encourage Margot. And that pitch is just a bit outside, gets by the catcher. So Patry will advance another 90 feet. And another wild pitch would give France their third run of the day. As the 4-hitter here, you're just looking to get a pitch you can drive for a sacrifice fly. Two balls, 1 strike, the count. And the Dutch pitcher looks in, takes her signs from her catcher, and fires in a fastball, which is driven foul. Foul. Past the bullpens here in Montpellier. So the count runs to 2-2. If France could score one more run here, they could make things really, really interesting going into the 4th inning. And that pitch is driven past the shortstop and will fall for a base hit into left field. On comes Patry for the 3rd French run of the afternoon. And France is within a run now. So the French bats have woken up here in the 3rd inning and have busted out for 4 base hits. and pickoff to first base is not in time. So the momentum definitely has swung in favor of the French here, who have a runner at first base with one out, and the number 5 hitter at the plate. And that pitch is skied to first and falls behind the first baseman for another French hit, and the runner moves up to second base, so the rally is ongoing. Runners at first and second, one out. It'll be interesting to see whether they score that a base hit or an error. It wasn't touched by the first baseman, but it was surely a play that should have been made. There is a bit of wind here, but not enough to cause that ball to fall in fair. Alors une bonne manche pour la France, qui ont déjà marqué 3 points cette troisième manche, qui ont déjà frappé 4 base hits cette troisième manche, et qui ont toujours couru en 1 et 2 avec un seul retrait. Team meeting entre le coach de troisième base et les frappeuses françaises. So stepping up to bat is Chiara Orion Torrent. Chiara, whose older brother Noah is a pitcher in the French Division 1 for Nice. And she takes a strike. And you can really feel the pressure getting to the Dutch team this inning. That next pitch is in there for strike 2. A good curveball, which broke late over the plate. So Chiara is down no balls and 2 strikes here. She's just trying to put the ball in play. She just wants to put the bat on the ball, put the pressure on the Dutch defense. And that's what she does. Flying one deep into left field. Deep. And caught by the left fielder for the second out of the inning. The runners did not tag as that ball looked for a second like it might drop. So runners at first and second with 2 outs now. Leonie will step up to bat. Leonie, who's playing first base today, wearing number 21. Wow. So I've just been informed that there's a power outage, not only here at the baseball field, but in the entire northern half of Montpellier. So hang in there. We're trying our best. And that ball is smoked up the middle, but gloved by the pitcher and thrown onto first for the third out. Good job by the pitcher to knock that ball down, recover, and throw onto first for the third out. So Netherlands get out of the inning, having given up 3 runs, but it could have been worse. Nevertheless, a good inning from the French. After 4, Netherlands 4, France 3. We'll be back.
Tiens. Oh, merci. Il n'y a plus rien du tout là?
Il y a,
Il n'y a plus de courant, donc la
Ok.
caméra.
Apparemment dans tout
Et,
dans tout
et
le quartier.
ça viendrait du quartier?
Ouais.
Parce que j'ai un Rabbit là qui est électricien, donc il disait je peux checker si vous voulez.
Ok.
Bah, essaye de voir avec. Ouais, parce qu'ils attendaient.
Ok, on est de retour là à Montpellier. Début de quatrième manche. Désolé, on n'a pas d'image pour l'instant. On n'a pas d'image. Il y a une coupure de courant dans le quartier. C'est pas seulement ici. C'est pas que sur le terrain, mais c'est dans le quartier. There's a power outage in the neighborhood. Power outage. No electricity. Yeah. So sorry again, we have a power outage here in Montpellier. It's back to the old school days of the radio.
Non, mais par contre, on l'entend.
Alright, so c'est un peu le bordel, on va dire. Il n'y a pas l'électricité pour l'instant, donc c'est comme à l'ancienne à la radio. 2 balles, 0 strike, 0 retrait. 2 balles, 1 strike. Alors, le prochain lancé est intérieur pour 3e balle. So 3-1 is the count. Nobody out here in the top of the 4th inning. The Dutch are at bat, looking to bounce back after having given up 3 runs in the bottom half of the 3rd. And that pitch is taken for a strike. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count to the leadoff batter here in the 4th inning. And the French righty delivers a strike. Swung on and missed for strike 3 for the first out. So Camille is still in there. Camille's in there and throwing strikes. That's what you want to see as a coach. Your pitcher throwing strikes, attacking the zone, and giving your team a chance to win. So the next hitter swings at the first pitch and flies it to right field, and it is camped under and caught by the French right fielder for the second out of the top of the 4th inning. So 2 quick outs here for les Bleus. Bon début de la 4e manche pour la France. De retrait assez rapide. Et la prochaine frappeuse pour les Pays-Bas, numéro 13. Premier lancé est bas et intérieur pour ball 1. Une balle, 0 strike, 2 retrait. On est avec vous à la radio comme dans les années 50. And the second pitch is in there for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. The batter steps out, takes a peek at her third base coach, but what sign could you give her? There's nobody on and 2 outs. And the next pitch is a fastball down for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. France defense signals to their outfielders that there are 2 outs. Comme on dit en français, 2 retraits, 2 éliminés, 2 morts. And the next pitch is taken for ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. So Camille's been throwing a lot of inside pitches the last few hitters. She does have 5 strikeouts on the day through 3 2/3 innings. She's up to 65 pitches. So maybe another inning or 2 for Camille. And there's ball 4. Another inside fastball taken by the Dutch hitter. And that brings to the bat Cherise Stravers, the left fielder, the number 3 hitter for the Netherlands. Cherise is 0 for 1 with a walk. And she lines a soft liner over the shortstop, which drops just in front of the left fielder. So runners at first and second with 2 outs. And this is exactly what you want as the Dutch manager. Stepping to the plate is Anouk Vergunst. Anouk is 1 for 1 today with 2 RBIs and an intentional walk in the first inning. So Netherlands have their cleanup hitter with runners at first and second. A base hit here could score 1 or 2 runs and give the Dutch a solid lead heading into the bottom of the 4th. And Camille steps off the rubber. That could have been called a balk. The Dutch third base coach gives the signs to Anouk. And Camille throws the pitch outside for ball 1. Yeah, you don't want to give her anything good to hit. There is a base open, I guess you could say. Runners at first and second with 2 down. Here in the top of the 4th inning, Netherlands 4 and France 3. Netherlands threatening with runners at first and second. And that ball is swung on and driven deep to left field. It will fall for a base hit and get by the left fielder. 1 run will score, and the throw's into third base. So the left fielder actually did knock that ball down and keep it in front. Runners at first and second, a long single for the Dutch cleanup hitter. So Netherlands add another run, making the score 5-3. This is a big, big moment in the game. Wendy Blatt is up to the dish. She's 0 for 2, so you could say she's due. The Dutch number 5 hitter struck out once. And timeout is called as a silence breaks over Verassi. Wendy will step back into the box, wiggle her bat, and get ready for the pitch. Dutch runners are taking big leads, and that pitch is swung on and missed for the first strike. Wendy sporting the number 27. Maybe her favorite player is Mike Trout. Or Vladimir Guerrero. And that pitch is skied and fly to the French first baseman, who makes the catch with a one-handed jab at the last second. And France will get out of it. They will leave 2 runners on. So after 3.5, Netherlands 5, France 3. We'll be right back. Je pense aussi. Bah oui, c'est ce que je me dis. Ouais. Et au moins sortir de la main. Oui. Elle a l'air d'être vraiment en dessous. Ouais. C'est le mettre là. Pas l'affronter. Non. Nico, c'est le mettre le plus derrière possible. Je me suis dit peut-être faire ça. Combien de bruit ça va faire? C'est pour nous spécialement? Non. Non, regarde. Ah là là, ouais.
coup est.
Non, mais ils mettent un.
Ça va aller?
Bah, quand ça lâche, ça lâche. Là, ils mettent un coup.
Parce que là, c'est joli là.
Ah ouais,
c'est-
au moins, t'as le soir.
Ouais. Bon. Ça va, c'est pas trop long.
Ça va, c'est juste qu'on n'a pas d'image.
Ah merde.
C'est comme à la radio.
Donc là, il n'y a pas d'image. Là-bas, la pression, elle est morte aussi. Il n'y a plus de courant.
Ah,
Ouais, mais il y a le score quand même.
ouais, il y a un score.
On l'entend, on l'entend.
Oui, mais ça c'est le principal. Tu m'entends en français ou en anglais?
Un peu des deux. Ouais. Ok, on est de retour ici à Montpellier. Fin de quatrième manche. Si vous entendez ce bruit derrière, on essaye de retrouver un peu de courant. Et bienvenue. Bienvenue. Welcome. We're trying to get some electricity back. So we found a generator and that explains the motor sound in the background. And sitting next to me is Kevin Canelone. Kevin is one of the best pitchers in the French Division 1. He's here taking in the sights and sounds as well. French batter steps into the box and takes a fastball on the outside corner for a strike. So France is down 2. And here in the bottom half of the fourth, France is the home team today, so they will get last at bats. Unless, of course, they take the lead, in which case the Dutch would get the last at bat. So 1-1 is the count. Nobody out. And Holland's starting pitcher, Langvoort, is still on. She's thrown 53 pitches, 36 for strikes. And that ball is lined into the left field corner for a long single for the French leadoff hitter. So good start to the inning by France. Bon début de manche pour la France avec un coureur en première base. Sans retrait. Et on dirait que ça va peut-être marcher l'image. En tout cas, l'ordinateur donne des signes de vie, donc ça c'est une bonne chose. Et regarde-moi ça. Et voilà, we're back. So we're back. On a des images. On a des images, on a du son, on a du baseball, on a du soleil. Tout est bon. And that pitch is taken for a strike. Et on a aussi Kevin Canelone dans le booth avec moi. Kevin, le lanceur vénézuélien du club de Montpellier qui regarde le match. Et ground ball to second base. Shortstop throws on the second. And on to first. And it is scooped out by the Dutch first baseman. What a pick. What a pick. She has been the MVP of the game so far today. Wow. That is a momentum killer. And a pitcher's best friend, the 6-4-3 double play. So the Dutch flashing the leather again. Killing a potential French rally. So 2 down here in the bottom of the fourth. There's still a lot of game left, but this was an opportunity for France. And that pitch is in there for strike 1 on the outside corner. To Lena Salam, France's shortstop, sporting the number 10 today. Now, we had mentioned it in the beginning, but this is the first time these players are playing together all summer. These players play for their respective clubs, and some play softball, some play baseball. But this is the first time they're playing together all summer. So most teams got here about 3 days ago to start practicing. Um, Mon Dieu. So 2 outs. And the Dutch pitcher fires a curveball, which is flat out to center field and caught by the center fielder to end the threat. So after 4 complete, it's Netherlands 5, France 3. We'll be right back.
We are back. Make some noise for all the volunteers on the field.
Ça marche. Tu veux venir? Ouais. Mais même s'il y a qu'un seul, tu fais une manche et je fais l'autre.
Bah après, tu parles mieux anglais que moi. Au pire, est-ce qu'on arrive à brancher deux trucs?
On met qu'un seul.
Voilà, il faudrait prendre un double. Ah, mais toi, tu gérais, c'était bien, toi. Moi, je connais pas trop les meufs et tout. Je continue. Moi, je voulais faire genre. On faisait à deux ou je sais pas quoi, tu faisais un peu le côté anglais, moi, je faisais le côté français. Ouais. C'est cool qu'on ait retrouvé l'image. C'est revenu d'un coup, du coup, avec le. Avec ça, ouais. Parce que tout à l'heure, on avait le. Ah non, d'accord, ok. Parce que moi, j'ai essayé d'allumer le live quand j'étais à Jacou, là, il y a 20 minutes. Et c'est déjà coupé, en fait. C'est comme ça. Mais le son continuait parce qu'on était avec la batterie dans l'ordi. Good. Ok, on peut faire un rappel en mal et la liste de tous les partenaires et tout comme ça. Tu vois, Eurosport.
Ok, on est de retour ici à Montpellier. Comme vous voyez sur vos télés, vos ordi, ils sont en train de refaire le terrain. C'est un bon moment pour remercier nos partenaires. Green Deer, Photo Ciné Comédie, Espoir, Les Ardeurs, Radio One, New Era, Teammate, WBSC, FFBS, la Ligue Occitanie de baseball et softball, le comité départemental, Nord, Bombers, n'oubliez pas d'acheter votre veste Bombers, Sport Break, Decathlon, 5euros.com, Best Hotel, le ministère chargé des sports, l'Agence nationale du sport, la région Occitanie, le département de l'Hérault évidemment la ville de Montpellier. Merci encore pour le soutien. Merci à l'ensemble des partenaires pour cet événement. So this is a little oddity in baseball. We're having a fifth inning stretch. Fifth inning stretch where the grounds crew is raking the infield and I think watering the field too, but maybe not. I guess not. That would take a while. So we're in the top of the fifth. This is a 7-inning ball game. Remember that this is only a 7-inning ball game. Netherlands are up 5-3. The French have left quite a handful of base runners on base, but the Dutch have made the plays, and the Dutch first baseman has been quite impressive today, not only batting but also in the field. So it looks like there's a new French pitcher. The new French pitcher is Cassandra Vigneault. Cassandra Vigneault on to pitch for France, number 9. So Camille Fouché pitched 4 innings today, surrendering 5 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Fouché leaves the game after having thrown 70 pitches, 41 of which for strikes. And stepping to the dish for the Netherlands is Nicky Groenmans. The Dutch second baseman today is 0 for 2 so far, looking to get on base for the first time. So the new French pitcher, Vigneault, wraps up her warm-up pitches. And we are just about ready to start the top half of the 5th inning here in Montpellier. So it's 6:35 p.m. The sun sets at 9 p.m., so we still have a lot of time to finish the game. And it's still quite hot, well over 30 degrees. And we're back. So we found a generator. We got the video back online. Sorry about that. First pitch is in there for a strike. And the second pitch is swung on and fouled to the first baseman and caught by the French first baseman with a one-handed grab. That was not an easy play. That ball was about halfway between the catcher and the first baseman in foul territory. And you know how it is when you're running to catch a fly ball. That ball moves up and down just as your head does. And she stuck her glove up at the last second and grabbed it. So a good play by the French first baseman. And now batting for Netherlands, Zoe Lagweg, the designated hitter. Left-handed bat, wearing number 21. So you can see the difference. The Dutch are a much bigger team, taller. And I guess that's just typical of Dutch baseball, both male and female teams. And that pitch is grounded up the middle, past the pitcher, to the second baseman, who fields and throws on to first for the second out of the inning. And that ball was not easy either to handle. A good job by the second baseman. That ball looked like it could have been caught by the pitcher. It chopped over her head, and from there the second baseman charged, scooped, and threw in one motion to the first baseman, who also scooped the ball out of the dirt for the second out of the inning. So two quick outs for France here. And the next pitch is high for ball 1. The second pitch is in there for strike 1 to Natalie Schindler. the Dutch number 8 hitter who's doing the catching today. Natalie's 0 for 2 with a run scored. And that pitch is on the outside corner, but not called a strike by the umpire. That pitch could have gone either way. French pitcher looks into the dugout wondering, where did that miss? And the next pitch is taken inside for ball 3. 3-1 is the count. So looking forward to tomorrow, France will play the night game. They play the night game every day this week. The early game tomorrow is Netherlands versus Great Britain. That will start at 11 a.m. And France versus Czech Republic will be at 5 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. And that pitch is taken for ball 4. There's a bit of confusion there for a second. So stepping in to bat is the number 9 hitter for Holland. Magali De Rui. Magali is 1 for 2 with a run scored today. She's made a couple good plays at third base. And that pitch is in there for strike 1. So women's baseball is developing rather quickly here in Europe. There are still no professional leagues for women to play baseball. As you may or may not have heard, it is possible for women to play in the French Division 1, which is a semi-pro 10-team league here in France. Melissa Mailleux played for Montpellier a few years back and is now playing professional softball in the United States. And that ball is skied to center field and handled by the French center fielder Patry for the 3rd out of the inning. We'll get back to that story after the break. We'll be right back.
Back on the mound for Netherlands. Round Linen, Hoekbal.
On est de retour à Montpellier pour la fin de la 5e manche. Les Pays-Bas mènent par un score de 5-3. Et la première frappeuse pour la France, ça sera Angélique André. Angélique a un base hit et un point marqué, ainsi qu'un RBI. Alors, on a entendu dire que Melissa Mailleux avait joué dans la division 1 française, avait joué au baseball. Ça a eu lieu en 2016. Mailleux est maintenant aux États-Unis. Elle joue au softball professionnellement aux États-Unis. Donc félicitations à elle, à Melissa, si elle regarde le match. The first pitch is taken for ball 1. And we heard in the stands, this is the inning we need to take the lead. On doit marquer dans cette manche. This is the key inning. France has their middle of the lineup, 2, 3, 4 hitters up to bat, and a 2-0 count here on Angélique André, the left fielder, who's 1 for 2 with a run scored and an RBI today. So André just trying to get on base here any way possible, and she takes ball 3. So 3 balls, no strikes, and we'll see what the third base coach looks like. He's giving her the take sign. On deck is Emma Patry, who's 1 for 2 with a run scored and an RBI. And that pitch is way high for ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk to lead off the bottom half of the 5th inning for Les Bleus. So now you're France, you're down by 2. You have a runner on first with nobody out. Do you bunt? Or do you let Patry, who's been the hottest hitter on the team, swing away? After Patry is Marjorie Brunel, who's also got a base hit on the afternoon. And Patry is not bunting. She takes a strike. So Patry steps back in the box. 0-1 count with Angélique André taking her lead off of first base. The Dutch pitcher comes set and fires in there. Angélique André is stealing. The throw down the second is not in time. And France will have a runner in scoring position with nobody out. A good throw by the Dutch catcher, but just not in time. André got a good jump, and her speed was enough to slide in there safe. So 1-1 count to Patry. Patry's hits have both gone up the middle today. And that pitch is taken well outside for ball 2. For Holland, Mel Longvoort is still on. She's pitched the entire game. She's up to 68 pitches. 45 of them for strikes. She's given up 5 hits and 3 earned runs, walking 2 and punching out only 1 French hitter, so she's not been dominant. France has put the ball in play. Netherlands' defense has been very solid, however. You can probably hear some of the French fans not happy with that strike 2 call. So the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at second base, nobody out. And the next pitch is taken for ball 3. Patry runs the count full. If she could get on here, that could open the door for a crooked number that's sitting with the number 4 hitter, Marjorie Brunel, up next. And still nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th. The next pitch is in there and swung on and driven, but foul down the left field line. Looked like for a second there that might drop, but that ball kept slicing away from the third baseman and left fielder. So Patry, the number 3 hitter, stands back in the box. Patry's 2 brothers also play baseball. I think both of them made it up to the Division 1. And that pitch is high and outside for ball 4. So we're going to get some movement in the Dutch bullpen here pretty soon. Runners at first and second. Nobody out for France with the number 4 hitter, Brunel stepping into the box. After Brunel is Yasmine Derbal, who's 0 for 2, followed by Chiara Henrion-Toron, who's 1 for 2 on the day. So this is the inning for France to score if they want to win this game. That pitch is taken for strike 1. That was a good pitch to hit, but it was probably a good take too, coming off of back-to-back walks. So the French fans are making some noise here behind the backstop and along the baselines. And that pitch is driven over the shortstop head. It's going to fall for a base hit, and we're going to have bases loaded. We're going to have bases loaded and nobody out. Alors, on a base pleine sans retrait. Ça, c'est la manche. Ça, c'est la manche pour marquer et passer devant pour la France. À la frappe maintenant, Yasmine Derbal. Elle a 2 at-bats aujourd'hui sans coup sûr. Comme on dirait en anglais, she's due. And that pitch is swung on and flied. That should be an infield fly, I think. That ball falls, and the runners are going to advance, and let's see what happens here. The runners should be able to score there. That's infield fly. They can advance on their own risk. Infield fly, batter's out. Yeah, and what happens with the runner? She scored. The runner should score on that play if the batter's out and infield fly is called. She made it home safe, and the catcher did not tag her. And if the batter is out, that's no longer a force play. So we're going to have a little chat here between the coaches and the umpires, because the infield fly was called, so the runner should be out who hit the ball. Sorry, the batter is out who hit the ball, but the runner at third took off as soon as the ball hit the ground. There was a throw to home plate, but since the batter was out, it's no longer a force play, so that runner should be safe. She was never tagged at home plate. She was never tagged. Now what are they saying? C'est un infield fly, exactement.
Let's get back to the game and make some applause!
It looks like the runner scored. Oui. Donc, si j'ai bien compris, il y a un retrait et le point il compte. Je crois que le point il compte. Normalement, c'est 5-4. And that's driven deep into center field and camped under and caught by the Dutch center fielder. However, Patry will tag from third and score the 5th French run of the game, tying the ball game at 5. So, sacrifice fly from Chiara, scoring Emma. And we're all tied up here at 5 with 2 down and a runner at third here in the bottom of the 5th inning. So France has done a good job tying the ball game. If they can get one more across here, that would really, really, really help. So the Dutch starter is still on the bump along Voord. Langvoort is now up to 80 pitches on the day. And that is swung through and missed. That is driven to center field, and that's going to be caught by the Dutch center fielder who was playing rather shallow. That looked for a second like it might drop in front of the outfielder. But she was playing shallow, and it paid off. So after 5, we're tied at 5. We'll be right back.
Here's the score. Netherlands 5, France 5. Make some noise!
En fait, il me dit pas, il a fait le retrait, c'est la frappeuse, et le point compté, puisqu'elles sont parties, alors ils sont
Exactement, c'est ça, exactement.
D'accord. Parce qu'il
Et-
y avait pas.
Ils ont lancé la balle au marque,
Oui,
mais le catcher n'a pas flagué.
Oui, bah oui, parce que pour elle, c'était forcé, qu'elle a
Exactement.
fait. Mais en fait, non, il fallait qu'elle tag, parce qu'il y avait plus du tout.
Exactement, parce que le jeu était déjà...
Il y avait plus forcément. Ok, non, mais là, j'ai compris.
Oui,
C'est pour ça que.
c'est compliqué.
Et l'arbitre a dit le point compte. J'ai pas vu à un moment dire.
Il a dit...
C'est pour ça.
il n'a jamais genre...
Il n'a pas fait ça, donc c'est pour ça que en fait, j'ai pas.
De retour sur le monticule, Cassandra Vigneault.
All right, we're back. Top of the 6th, 5-5. Cassandra still on the mound for France. She had a quick inning, throwing only 12 pitches in the 5th. And that pitch is in there, 4-strike 1. So that's what you want if you're France. After having tied up the ball game, you want your pitcher to attack the zone, put the pressure right back on Netherlands, and get your team back in the dugout and in the batter's box. Deuxième lancé est un peu extérieur pour une balle. Une balle, un strike, 0 retrait. On est en 6e manche maintenant. On est à égalité 5-5. 5 partout. And that's grounded softly to third base. Charged on and thrown on to first. 4 and out. Great play by the French third baseman for the first out of the inning. So we're getting into the late innings because it's only a 7-inning game. What you could call crunch time here for France and Netherlands. And that pitch is just a bit high. French pitcher tapping her chest saying, "My bad, that ball slipped." It is hot, so sweaty hands, that ball could go anywhere. And that pitch is right back in there for a strike. As if to show everybody, no, I'm okay. I got it. Une balle, un strike, un retrait en 6e manche. Il fait toujours chaud ici à Montpellier. Si vous venez ou vous pensez venir, pensez à prendre à boire ou à vous hydrater. On va gagner. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. And that pitch is just off the outside corner. And ball 4. That pitch will trickle back to the backstop, quickly recovered by the French catcher and ran back into the infield. So runner at first base for the Dutch with 1 out. This is what you would call a steal situation. Third base coach flashes the signs to both the batter and the runner at first base. With the number 3 hitter in the lineup up to bat, left-handed batter makes it a little harder for the catcher to throw to second base too. Charisse Travers is 1 for 2 on the day. And looming on deck is Anouk Vergunst. I say looming because she's 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs and an intentional walk. So if the Dutch can get 1 or even 2 runners on base for Vergunst, this could be their chance to take the lead. And that pitch is just a bit outside. And the next pitch is high and away, and there's a runner going, and a throw by the catcher is in time, and the runner is out at second base. Wow. What a throw by Orion Toron. That throw was right on the money. And that's huge right there. That's huge. To go from runner at first or runner at second, actually, potentially with 1 out to nobody on with 2 outs. That's the momentum swing France needed. If France can get this batter out, then they would have Vergunst, the Dutch cleanup hitter, leading off the top of the 7th. That's exactly where you want her, leading off with nobody on base. Some action in the French bullpen as that pitch is flied to center field and camped under by Patry for the 3rd out of the inning. And we're headed to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Still tied up, France 5, Netherlands 5. France coming to bat. We'll be back.
The score still remains the same. France 5, Netherlands 5. Macron from Netherlands, Merle Verena, Bongo.
On n'arrive pas, quoi.
C'est Ambre Brouard.
Pour la France, à la batte, Ambre Brouard.
On est de retour au terrain Greg Hamilton, ici à Montpellier. Ambre Brouard à la frappe. Et le premier lancé est un peu extérieur pour une balle. Alors, si la France peut passer devant ici en fin de 6e, manquerait que 3 retraits à faire pour terminer le match. And that pitch is in there, first strike. 1-1 is the count. And that pitch is skied to center field, and the center fielder's coming on, and will make the catch for the first out of the inning. Looked like for a second that ball might drop in behind the shortstop, but the center fielder was playing pretty shallow.
À la batte. Pour la France. Juliane Laporte.
So stepping into the batter's box is Julian. Julian, the number 9 hitter today, is 0 for 1 with a run scored and a stolen base. And she takes the first pitch just a bit down. That looked like a good pitch. As a pitcher, that's the pitch you want. And the next pitch is in there for a strike on the outside half. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Bottom of the 6th, still tied. France 5, Netherlands 5. France will play Czech Republic tomorrow at 5 p.m. And in the morning game at 11 a.m., Netherlands will face Great Britain. Great Britain coming off a big winner today, scoring 27 runs this morning. 27? Yeah, you heard that right. 2 balls and 1 strike. And the next pitch is swung on and lifted down the right field line in foul territory. And Vergoots will make the catch over her shoulder. Willie Mays Hayes, she has been the MVP of the game. She has really, really stood out. Tremendous play by the Dutch first baseman. Just out of the picture for you watching at home. So 2 down. France looking for a 2-out rally here. If they can get 1 runner on base, that's all they would need it to get her in. And that's a strike. And let me remind you that Mare Longvoort is still on the mound. She started this game for the Netherlands a little over 2 hours ago and is still pitching. Vergoodt has walked 3, struck out 1, and is now up to 86 pitches on the day. She's scattered 6 hits and given up 5 runs, all earned. But hey, her team is in there. And that pitch is grounded to the shortstop. Shortstop sets, fields, and throws to first. First baseman stretches for the 3rd out of the inning. Another great play by the Dutch defense. A solid Dutch defense. So Netherlands will come to the plate in the top half of the 7th. Just a reminder, France is the home team, so they will have last at-bats in the bottom half of the inning. We'll be right back.
C'est 3 contre le 29.
OK.
C'est pas
Pays-Bas.
3-9. Pays-Bas, oui. Oui, Pays-Bas, 3 contre 29, ils viennent de dire au score.
OK. OK.
Pour la France, Emma Patry.
Allez, Emma. Ah, c'est Emma qui lance?
Anouk Vergoots for Netherlands. the end of the sixth. Let's go, Crown! Let's go, Netherlands!
So we're back here in the top of the 7th inning. France has a new pitcher. Emma Patry moves from center field onto the mound. And Emma's looking to keep the score tied here at 5. 2 scoreless innings from Cassandra Vigneault after Camille Fouché pitched the first 4 innings of the game, striking out 5 Dutch hitters on 70 pitches. So Emma's got a good arm. She throws a lot of strikes. I remember her pitching in Rouen in under 15s, and she's a strike machine. Hopefully I don't jinx her. And the Dutch will lead off the inning with their cleanup hitter, Anouk Vergoens. The first baseman is 2 for 2 today with 3 RBIs. And she steps in and swings at the first pitch, lining it to shortstop. That ball will drop in, fielded by the shortstop, throw on to first in time for the first out of the inning. So 1 pitch, 1 out. That's just the start France wants. Good job by Patry. Starting the first hitter off with a strike. That's what we want. That's what we're looking for. And now up on Slok for Netherlands. Wendy Black, the center fielder, number 27. Takes the first pitch strike, so good job by Patry starting off another hitter with a strike. And that's the curveball. It's taken just a bit high. So Emma throws a curveball now. That's cool. And the next pitch is a fastball swung on and fouled back behind home plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nouvelle lanceuse pour la France, Emma Patry, numéro 22. Elle change de poste. Elle était au champ centre avant. Emma qui lance beaucoup de strikes. Termine avec encore un strike pour un strikeout et le deuxième retrait de la manche. So 2 quick outs for France. And if France can get this third out and get back in the dugout, they could walk it off here. They could walk it off on the first day of the tournament in front of their home fans. Wouldn't that be something? And Emma winds up and delivers a fastball just a bit outside. And that pitch is taken just a bit high. So 2 balls to the Dutch batter, number 3. Nikki Gromans. Nikki's 0 for 3 today. She has played a good second base though. And that's a curveball, just a bit outside. If Gromans could get on. Excuse me, we have a pinch hitter. It's not Gromans, it's Wessels. Kika Wessels is now up. Should Wessels reach, the next batter would be Zoe Lagweg, who's 1 for 3 on the day with a double and a stolen base. And that ball is just a bit inside. So the pinch hitter, Wessels, works a walk. Good job by her. So Netherlands will have a runner on base with 2 outs. And Emma winds up and delivers a first pitch strike to Lagweg. Lagweg is batting lefty, so lefty on lefty matchup. The Dutch designated hitter is 1 for 3 on the day. Should Lagweg reach, Natalie Schindler would come to bat, the catcher, as that pitch is taken for a ball. So this is a big pitch here, that 1-1 count. It's really important to get ahead of the hitter, especially with a runner on base. You don't want the hitter to feel comfortable and start getting in those hitters' counts. And that's a strike on the outside corner. Good pitch by Emma. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. As Montpellier manager Jean-Michel Maillard would say, 2 strikes, 2 retraits, 2 strikes, 2 retraits. And Emma steps off and checks the runner at first. Top of the 7th here. 5-5 game, 2 outs, 2 strikes, runner at first. Patry delivers a curveball, which is taken and gets by the catcher. And the umpire says the hitter swung. The umpire says the hitter swung. The hitter did not think so. She started walking towards the dugout and did not run to first base. And that's an automatic out. Wow. A bit of a mental error by the Dutch batter there not to run to first base as the wild pitch with 2 outs. She could have. So the French will take it. That did not look like a swing. Le bon angle. So a good job by Patry. We'll be right back.
Back on the mound for Netherlands, Berg, Verena, Mugro.
C'est maintenant.
Je sais pas qui c'est. Elle est bien crado. Numéro 12.
Prochaine batteuse pour la France, Angélique Olay.
On est de retour ici à Montpellier pour la fin de la 7e manche. On voit Glenn Garreau dans l'image. Glenn, c'est le photographe officiel des équipes de France de baseball, softball et baseball féminin. Bienvenue à Glenn dans le sud. And so we're back. Bottom half of the 7th inning. This is France's chance to walk it off in style as they have the 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up. And that ball is taken high for ball 1. So 1-0 is the count. The drums are banging. The fans are anxious to see France win here on day 1 of the tournament. And that pitch is in there for a strike. France's dugout does not agree with the call. That looked down. That looked a little low. Angelique André waits for the 1-1 pitch. Angelique is 1 for 2 with 2 runs scored and an RBI today for France. And she bunts. A good bunt, but the pitcher gets over, fields it, flips underhand to the first baseman, Vergulst, for the first out of the inning. So a good bunt, but an even better play by the Dutch pitcher. Langvoort, who's still on the mound, she's going the distance. This is her game to win or lose.
Numéro 22, Emma Patry.
And stepping into the box is the French pitcher. The French pitcher, Emma Patry, who's 1 for 2 with 2 runs scored and also an RBI on the day. And a stolen base. Patry came on to pitch the 7th inning. She had been playing center field the first 6 innings. And she takes the first pitch. There's a bit of action in the bullpen. And that pitch is high and away. Should Emma get on, Marjorie Brunel would be the next hitter. She has 2 hits on the day. So this is a good spot for France to get Emma on, move her over, and get her in. And that's a strike. Third base coach does not agree. And that pitch is taken low. Emma says no, that's a ball. 3 balls, 1 strike. Alors, la frappeuse Patry, si elle pourrait arriver en première base, la prochaine frappeuse serait Marjorie Brunel, qui a déjà 2 coups sûrs sur la journée. And that's grounded foul. So full count. Full count to Patry, who's just looking to put the ball in play or draw a walk here. The crowd is getting a little restless. The score's been tied at 5 for 3 innings now. So the pitchers have settled in. And the next delivery is high for ball 4. You could see it right out of her hand. That pitch was not going to come down for a strike. So Patry's on with 1 out. First base coach Raina Hunter takes her elbow guard and puts it on her. Courant en 1, en retrait. Toujours 5-5 ici à Montpellier en 7e manche. Si la France peut marquer, ça sera game over. And the 1-0 pitch. The first pitch is in there for a ball. The drums are banging. The fans are howling. And the 1-0 pitch is up and swung on. And grounded just foul down the third baseline. Patry was running on the pitch, so maybe a hit and run. Just a few feet foul. We're getting to that point of the game where, as a third base coach, you start to analyze the pros and cons of stealing, and there goes Patry, and another swing. That was definitely a hit and run. That was definitely a hit and run. And that pitch is flied foul and caught by the Dutch third baseman, so 2 outs. You wonder if the catcher has the arm to throw out Patry if she would have just stolen straight up. Did they really need to hit and run? Well, hindsight's always 20/20, right? And again, do you steal? If I'm the third base coach here, I'm running. There goes Patry, and there's the throw by the catcher, and she is safe. So, yeah, exactly. So maybe they should have done that a hitter earlier. See, the catcher's arm is not strong enough to throw out Patry. Patry's speed is too much, so there's no need to hit and run. Anyways, runner at second, 2 outs. And that pitch is swung on and fouled off to the right side. Merel Langvoort is still on the mound for Netherlands. She's pitched 6 2/3 innings. She's up to 103 pitches, and that pitch is lined to third base, knocked down by the third baseman. And Patry will move to third, and she throws to first, and that gets over the first baseman. And Patry will come home and score the winning run, and France will walk it off on the first day of the tournament, 6-5. Victoire pour la France, 6-5. Wow, what a game. What a game. Well, congratulations to both teams on a hard-fought effort and some good entertainment. A good game for everybody here in attendance, who I'm sure would agree. What a start of the tournament. So, victories on the first day for Great Britain and France. We will see you here tomorrow for Great Britain and Netherlands at 11 a.m., followed by France and Czech Republic at 5 p.m. For all the camera team, thank you, and au revoir.
France wins 6-5 against Netherlands. You can applaud both teams, the umpires, the technical commissioners, and the scoring team. Thank you all for coming to our first day of the Women's Euro Baseball 2022.
Non mais c'est bon là, on peut arrêter. Hein. Non mais, mais c'est bon.
T'es sûr? Bah oui, j'attends toujours qu'on me donne l'ordre de couper le signal. Même si le match est fini. Moi je dis ça, j'ai rien.
Sorry. That's okay, we can finish. Du coup là on fait un set de game.
Ah là tu fais pomme cul. Ah non, il y a
Non ça y est. Là, y a pas de problème.
chier, tu fais
See you tomorrow for 2 wonderful games. At 11 a.m., Netherlands versus Great
Ça a
Britain.
marché, j'ai écouté le son.
And at 5 p.m., Czech Republic versus France.
Les
Thank you
trucs qui passent
all.
bizarrement.
Ouais, bah oui, non mais laisse tomber. Le tabou, c'est dans ton quartier. Ça c'est pas remis.
Bon, bah je sais pas, on est 6.